By far the biggest criticism of my game is that I rely on auto-aim too much. Well, that I rely on auto-aim at all. Some of the best players will tell you that you should never, ever, ever use auto-aim. But those people are wrong. There are many occasions when auto-aim is quite useful and the best choice. And I'll try and get to some of those now. For instance here, when circling an enemy, you're almost always going to be shooting into their side and rear armor, and then it doesn't matter where you hit, it's going to be a soft target almost anywhere and you're rarely going to bounce. And using auto-aim allows you to zoom out and see more of what's around you, so it's obviously the best choice when circling. And if you remember this replay from a 9-kill game I had, I used auto-aim here in this instance because I wanted to make sure my gun was pointed directly at this tank the entire time while I was turning, and occasionally when you're turning, your gun barrel will fall off of the enemy, but with auto-aim it won't. And when suicide rushing, as I am doing here, auto-aim again allows you to keep your barrel on the enemy while you're circling them, and allows me to zoom out so I can see all these people up on the shelf. If I was aiming carefully at that tank, I would not have been able to see them, and I wouldn't have known to get over here and away from their fire. Now again, I use auto-aim on the next tank coming up, so I don't have to worry about aiming at him. I can pay attention to other things other than just aim.
Ready to fire.
And again here, I'm using auto-aim so because I'm more worried about the path I'm taking than I am about hitting these tanks with as many shots as I possibly can. It's far more important for me to see where I'm going, and auto-aim allows me to zoom out more than I would normally. And if I'd been far more careful with my aim here, I would not have gotten anywhere near those 5 kills. I probably would have been killed right after the first kill. Now here, you'll notice on this suicide rush, I'm not actually in much danger here. The T-18, we can see that he's not pointed at me. I'm impervious to machine gun fire. I have pathways to put buildings between me and any possible fire, and I can isolate one guy and go one-on-one. And in this entire suicide run, you'll notice I'm really in no danger at all. Now let's watch that same replay again if I was, and I'll try and simulate aiming. You'll notice I wouldn't actually be any more accurate. And all of a sudden, this looks a lot more dangerous, and I wouldn't know what pathways to take. Auto-aim allowed me to take a much safer pathway and put myself in much less danger than if I was paying attention to my aim. And again, it allowed me to zoom the camera out far more than I would be able to if I was aiming accurately. Now, of course, you would never use auto-aim if an enemy is moving laterally in front of you, because it aims at the center of the tank, and by the time your shell gets there, he'll be long gone. So if you're chasing someone down and using auto-aim, try and get it right in behind them, and that way your gun points straight forward and he doesn't move laterally between the time you fire and the shell arrives. So you tend to hit much more if you're driving directly behind them. Now here, watch how much more aware of the situation I am because I'm using auto-aim. I can put the arty between me and the other tank as much as possible, which I wouldn't know to do if I was aiming manually. So, are you beginning to see why I would use auto-aim so frequently in my scouts?